Welcome, viewers. Keeping Up with Senior Solutions is back, and Jim and I are anxious to get started and talk to you and let you know some of the new things that are happening, some of the old things, and remind you about other things that you might want to know about. Jim, how have you been?
I've been great. It's been a long summer, and maybe things are slowing down with the pandemic. Our seniors have really handled it unbelievable. Our cares groups have helped out. Every community have stepped up to the plate. It's really kind of the Vermont tradition. When neighbors need help, we step in and help.
That's right. Absolutely. We're so proud of the older people in Vermont who actually led the way in getting their vaccines. And we do also have another push now. The CDC sent a big clump of money to the Department of Aging and Independent Living to encourage the various councils on aging to put out marketing materials to encourage the older population to complete their second vaccine if they're still waiting to get that. And for others who maybe haven't found a way to get their vaccine, to help them figure out how they can either have someone come to give it to them or how they can get to a place to get it. These vaccines are free. And the CARES groups and other organizations, the Department of Health, have really bent over backwards to try to help people access these vaccines. And they really make a difference. You know, yeah, you could get a breakout infection or something, but it certainly will not be as catastrophic if you have your vaccines. So we just want to let everybody out there know that all the V4As, all the councils on aging have thrown their money together, and Crow Creative in Burlington is doing a massive marketing campaign for us, because who do we love? We love our fellow Vermonters. We want to keep them around as long as possible. So I encourage, I can't encourage people out there enough. And now we just got a second round of funding because, and I'm not sure why, but I'm going to meet with all the other PR people from the other councils on aging. I'm hoping that we're going to put some of that money to encourage people to get the booster shot, because we now hear from Pfizer and so forth that after 6 months of your vaccines, it wouldn't hurt you to get the booster so you have additional protection. We don't know how many different versions of the COVID is going to come along, and we want to make sure people have as much protection as possible.
Right. And we just keep listening to the news regarding when the Moderna might be ready as well, and as well as the Johnson and Johnson.
Yeah, there's all varieties. And you know what? If you're not sure which one to get, but you have the opportunity to get one of them, just get it. Because waiting is not going to protect you.
And while we're talking about shots, don't forget to get your flu shot.
Oh, that's right. And I probably would have forgotten. So I'm glad you're reminding me.
I got mine last week. Walked right into, without even an appointment, walked right into Rite Aid and got a shot.
I better follow your example, Jim. Thank you. I can't let you be more healthy than me. We have to do it together.
Well, probably my age has something to do with it.
Yeah, like I'm no kid. And with that being said, you know, I'm going to be very personal for a minute with our viewers. I have a son who has 3 children, the age of 4 and under. Obviously, the children can't get vaccines. He had both of his vaccines, and he still came down with COVID, and so did his 4-year-old son. But luckily, because he's healthy and he had his vaccines, it could have been so much worse.
That's a good point.
And the 2 boys in the family did quarantine away from the 2 baby girls and the mother. So, you know, they had to be alone for a while, but they muddled through, and thanks goodness for the vaccines. So I'm very grateful, very personally grateful.
Well, personal stories like that and sharing them really help make a difference to, you know, people need to hear the real story. instead of
I
the
sure,
fictitious stories that are out there.
yeah, or the fairy tale stories that they wish were
Yes.
true. So, oh, let's move on to some more topics. What would you like to introduce to the group?
Well, you know, I went to the website today just to look at some of the topics that anybody can go to the website, and look at the detail in the description of, let's say, friendly visitors or vet to vet or caregiver support, etc. We'll talk about some of that today, but if you want more
Yep.
detail, go to the website and take a look at
You
things.
know, thank you, Jim, because I believe today at 10 a.m., our new, improved, updated website actually went live. Now, we still have some updates to add to it,
Right.
but you could not go live forever if you waited till you had everything updated consistently. So we're live now. People can go on it, and hopefully, we're going to discover, I'm sure, once our board of directors gets a good look at it, and many of us get a chance, like you just did, to look at it, we may be able to offer some improvements, which we can make adjustments down the line.
Right.
But we just had to get that, I will call it the mainframe, up on the system. So I hope it helps everybody.
It is very easy to use. It's very user friendly.
Great.
I liked it a lot better than the older one. Okay.
Oh, good. That's nice to hear. Nice to hear.
One
And I
thing I
think I
think
have to give, go ahead.
but well, one thing I think that I would like to start kind of bring up is because when I first worked for Senior Solutions, I was trying to learn more about Medicare and Medicare open enrollment. And I know we just had a workshop, I believe,
Yes.
in Londonderry area.
Yes, on the 21st.
Right, 21st. Sarah Tilden did that, who's an expert on all.
Yes.
I had some questions about my Medicare, and she sat down with my wife and I and walked us through things, especially adding prescriptions, etc. We saved a lot of money
Great.
by sitting down with one of our people who we're a nonprofit. We're not trying to make an insurance sale. I know
No.
our seniors are probably tired of all the telephone calls they're getting right now from, oh, I'm from Medicare, but they're not really from the US Medicare department. They're representing, an insurance company. So we, as seniors, we have to be very careful because
Yeah.
right now there's a lot of scams out there to
Good
encourage
point.
to
Yes.
encourage seniors to spend money that they shouldn't be spending. I think if our seniors feel that they don't understand their Medicare or they want to make changes, they need to call our helpline and make an appointment. They can call it 885-2669 and set up a time where they can communicate with our experts,
Mhm.
all right, and get their support.
That's a very good point. Very good point. And, you know, our open enrollment starts what, I think October 15th,
Right,
and it runs through to December 7th.
right.
It might seem like it's far off and that you have plenty of time, but trust me, you don't, because you may try to call us and get an appointment along with, 50 other people.
Let me
So
tell you another thing that's
start
important to
early.
get that appointment.
That's right.
People may not realize, but their income levels may have changed over the year or two,
That's right.
and they may qualify for the Medicare Savings Program as much as $144 coming to you as a senior per month,
That's
So
good.
that's $144, over $1,000 a year,
Yeah.
just because you asked the right question.
Isn't that amazing?
Mhm.
So do you hear that, everybody? Call our helpline. Again, Jim told you, and I'm going to tell you something different too. Starting October 1st, when you call in Vermont throughout the state, you have to put 1-802.
Yeah.
885-2669 for the helpline. And we have a toll-free helpline number now, a direct toll-free number, doesn't go to the state, goes to our office. And that would be 1-866-673-8376. Probably take me a month or so to memorize that, so I have to read it. So whatever number you want to call, just call us and let us know that you would like some help before you sign up this year for Medicare, okay? Or even if you have a relative or someone you love that is becoming eligible for the first time, call for them. If they're shy or whatever, call and you can find out the information, and then you can help walk them through whatever advice you receive, okay?
The
Thanks,
other thing
Tim.
too, what I was thinking, you and I have talked about this, that we certainly wouldn't mind our listeners and our viewers to give us a call with any ideas they might have that we could offer, to them, do some investigation on our part, and see if we can. I think that one of our seniors asked me the other day, talking about the scams and everything coming. What do we have to, what should we be aware of this? What are they like, and so forth? Maybe we can get somebody from the Attorney General's office to communicate how we have to be careful as seniors not to be vulnerable for these scams.
Yeah, I think the scammers troll everything, and as soon as they find a birthday that pops up that qualifies you to be an older Vermonter or an older American, they put you on their phoning list. So everybody out there, you're not being rude, you're not being mean if you don't want to listen to them. They didn't ask you if it was okay to call you, so you don't have to feel bad if you don't feel like listening to it or being sucked into it.
Absolutely.
Just remember one thing, and this was a big takeaway when I went down to DC to get the training from the Department of Justice abuse in later life process that we had taken on with various partners in law enforcement and other partners. People who are scammers, people who are abusers, are the ultimate actors in this world. They are so persuasive and so adept at making you want to do what they want to do. It has nothing to do with what's good for you or what you want to do. So if somebody is calling you from out of the blue, claiming to want to help you and this and that, say, no, thank you. And then you call someone, a professional in that field that you can trust, or call us.
Or call the local police department.
Call the police department, any trusted source, because if they're calling you, they're going to be calling others as well. And we need to protect each other. Thank you, Jim. That was a super important message that you put out. That's great. Well, I have some more lighthearted information.
Let's hear it.
All right, ready? This is about Tai Chi. So if anybody out there is interested and doesn't want to be a tripper or fall down, you can take Tai Chi. This is being done on Tuesdays. The beginners start from 9:30 to 10:30. Then at 10:45 to 11:45, the intermediate and the more advanced people are working on it. This is going to be in Springfield. And to find out the details and more information, if you would like to learn how to move graciously and get stronger muscles, not by running, but by doing gentle movement, you contact our nutrition and wellness director, and that's Wendy. Her number is, get your pencil, 1-802-755-7295. And find out more about it. And these are free, doesn't cost a penny. So all you have to do is call and get the details and come to the class, and soon you'll be moving like a gazelle.
Well, that's a good point. And we'll be having Wendy on our program in October, possibly, that can give us a lot more detail into some of the other activities that she sponsors.
Are you kidding? Wendy is doing like 80 gajillion projects. She's got also the matter of balance training sessions. That's going to be a Zoom meeting, and that's going to be Mondays and Fridays from 9 to 11. It begins October 15th. So the day you are recognizing open enrollment starts is the day you can start going to matter of balance training. And that's going to run from October 15th to November 8th. Again, those are Mondays and Fridays. Tai Chi is Tuesday. Monday and Friday is matter of balance training. It's also free, plus you get a workbook provided, no cost. And again, talk to Wendy, 802-755-7295. She welcomes people to call and sign up. So that would be great. We've got all kinds of things going on. And you know what? You used to do Pearl's counseling, did you not, Jim?
I did Pearl's counseling.
Could you tell everybody about it a little?
Pearl stands for Program to Encourage Active, Rewarding Lives. As we get old, it happened to me, for example. I retired 2 years ago after 54 years in education. Can you believe that? And I'm still alive.
And you still look like a student.
Oh, thanks. But anyways, after retiring, I felt pretty down. I didn't have a schedule. I was really down in the dumps. Luckily, I found Senior Solutions, decided to work part-time, and I have been with them for over a year and a half or so. And I'm just doing the program now, but I was on outreach. But it really meant a lot to me to get involved with the Pearls program, because we all have periods in our life we get down in the dumps, or we feel helpless, or I'm bored, I don't have anything to do, my house is a mess, I can't. Pearls is a program that we are trained to, in the counseling, to meet with people, to sit down and do an inventory together. We don't tell you what to do or how to do it. It's a discovery process by both the counselor and the person that we're meeting with. Nice. Very effective. It has had great results, and people end up feeling, hey, I'm feeling pretty good now.
That's wonderful. And, you know, especially now, because this pandemic has dragged on and on. A lot of people are still very careful about getting together with loved ones and their friends. So it can lead to extreme loneliness.
Absolutely.
And, you know, yeah, when you don't have the human contact, you lose a sense of worth, a sense of self. And we don't want to see anybody suffer unnecessarily. And if we can intervene and get to them soon and early enough, that we can help them overcome a few of the speed bumps in life. How wonderful. How wonderful, Jim.
Yeah. You know what else relates to that? And you could speak to this because you know a lot about it. The Friendly Visitors Program.
Oh my God. We just got, this is very good. We're working on, we have so many prongs, which I call the prongs on the fork of the visitor programs. And about an hour ago, Vicki shot me a text because we had applied for a Serve Vermont kind of an AmeriCorps grant. And we had the first portion, which was the planning grant, which got approved, and that runs out in November. We have accomplished a great many things in that planning grant, and I'll tell you about it later. But we were told, no, it doesn't look like we're going to get the implementation grant, which is significant because it will enable us to have 20 new volunteers and give them stipends, et cetera, and to help the older population remain connected and so forth. We just got the word. We just got the implementation grant, the big one.
Wow, that's great.
We did not expect it. We were told, well, it doesn't look like anything's going to happen. They said, but we got it. So now we're really thrilled because when we figured we weren't getting it, we were still able to implement the planning and start of getting our respite caregiver volunteers. We already have like 8 or 9 of them signed up. We were able to connect with organizations and individuals who would like to host our memory cafes. We have hired a gentleman to help recruit and locate places to meet for our caregiver support groups, particularly for people who have loved ones that are suffering from dementia. These are all things that we were going to do through the planning grant and the Serve Vermont AmeriCorps grant. And we were able to accomplish most of all that even without the grant. So now we're like 2 steps ahead. And once we, actually collect the money and go forward and can implement everything, oh my God, it's so wonderful. And we heard that, they didn't think there'd be money, this or that. But apparently the commissioner from the Serve Vermont or the AmeriCorps was so impressed with our programs that he said, there's no way they're not going to get that grant. So I have to give kudos to the volunteer visitor crew. First of all, Vicki, the program coordinator, Valerie, who coordinates everything down in the Brattleboro area, Gary Shaw, who's worked like a devil to put together the Veterans Advisory Council for Windham County, and he's working on the same thing for the Upper Valley. He's done amazing contacts for the memory cafes, and we have a new person, George, who's been working on trying to find and recruit volunteers for the support group leaderships. And also Patty up in White River Junction, who works with the VA and has done a tremendous amount of work up there, and coordinating with the Bugby Center, working on doing programs there for visitors and for the veterans. Unbelievable. This is a team that operates on their passion for both the volunteers and the recipients. It's remarkable, but I think that this recognition of getting the grant is extremely well deserved, and they do it because they care.
Boy, that's really a good point. One of my jobs in the past with Senior Solutions has been calling the clients of our case managers. It's kind of a satisfaction survey, and I am telling you, I'm so impressed the extra mile our case managers go to help the people that they're dealing with, to make their lives better, and to give some ideas of support that making that individual say, man, I can do these things, and look at the help I'm getting, So, I mean, it's just wonderful to see. And I had to do the same kind of satisfaction report for our volunteers. And I had to call all the volunteers and ask them how things are going and all. And they themselves are getting so much out of what they're doing. It's not necessarily just the people they're seeing. It's so helpful to them. So if anybody's interested in becoming a volunteer, give us a call. Call the helpline, 885-2669.
Absolutely. And you're right. It's not a one-way, appreciation. Everybody benefits. Everybody benefits. There's a win-win-win. And we just had another example. Somebody called very desperate. They had a parent who basically was homeless because of health and situational things. They were getting desperate, and I'll tell you that the helpline, several other individuals connected with helpline and so forth, even our executive director, all jumped in and figured out what the different things are that we can do to help this family. What's available, what can we do? Some things we can't do. We can't manufacture housing for people, but we can find other remedies and extra things to help make their lives more comfortable. And it truly makes a difference, even for people that can't get everything they want. Just knowing that there's an organization with caring people who are working for their benefit. They're not alone in the world. Makes a huge difference.
One of the things I think I've been talking to some of the clients that I had when I was working at Senior Solutions was the need. There are many seniors that are really helping to raise their grandchildren.
Oh, that's right.
And that's no easy task.
It wasn't easy the first time
around. We don't love our grandchildren,
no, but
it is a job and a half. So I think, what we'd like to see established is a kind of a meeting place, maybe once a month, for grandparents that are taking on that responsibility. So that's something I know we're working on and would like to create, because I think there are more people doing that, not just taking care of their grandchildren, but being part of that process.
Right.
Some have full custody, but others are more part-time. And
a lot of it's, you're right, a lot of it's informal.
Right.
Young married people that need both parents to work in order to make ends meet.
Right.
Because everything has gotten more expensive except people's salaries.
Right.
So the two young mom and dad, even if they have both parents there, they both have to work. What do they do with the kids?
Right.
So the grandparents normally step up to the plate.
They
and
do.
I can tell, as you know, you and I know, bending over to pick up a 1 and a 2-year-old all day is not as easy as it used to be.
No, not at all.
I mean, you can bend over, but how do you get up? So aside from the physicality, it's emotionally tiring. And these, family members who step in and give as much love and care as they possibly can, really deserve our appreciation societally and also support, so that they can remain active and remain positive in the lives of their children.
Yeah, and when you're in a support group, you really realize you're not alone.
There you go.
So you're dealing with the same kind of problems.
Yeah.
You find solutions when you start talking about things.
That's it.
I think that's something we want to pursue.
Yeah, I like it. And I know that Mark had helped to facilitate, our executive director at Mount Ascutney. He had been part of the leadership, and they had a grandparents caring for grandkids program.
Right.
Of course, when COVID came, a lot of these meetings had to dissolve, but I'm sure there's a lot of pent up need for these activities, and we'll find a way to support people who are doing so many good things.
Another thing, audience out there, one of the things we'd like to do is sometimes highlight on our program a special senior that is contributing or has done something special in their communities.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have any ideas of people, that might be appropriate to come on our program to talk about some of their successes as a senior, whether it's something done athletically, whether it's something giving to the community, whether it's being part of a CARES group that's made a big difference during the pandemic. We would love to have a senior come in and talk about what they have contributed to their communities.
That would be just wonderful. And apropos, I believe that the save the date announcement has gone out maybe today for the annual meeting that's going to be held October 27th.
It has gone out.
Okay, good. And it's going to be virtual. So if you get that, please RSVP, let us know. And also connected with that, we have a successful aging award that we like to give out, or awards. If you go to our website, www.seniorsolutionsvt.org, and in the search box, if you just put in successful aging, or you may even see the invitation on the landing page, go to it and you can download or fill it out online, the nomination form for an individual, just like Jim was saying, somebody who is adept at successful aging, somebody that you recognize as an outstanding aging Vermonter. I think that it used to be that the criteria was they have to be 80. We can bend the rules a little. We rather see more successful people being nominated than fewer. So you just don't be shy. If you have a neighbor, a friend, somebody, and you know some of the things they've done and they kind of hide their light under a bushel, we would love the opportunity to give them the kudos.
I'm not going to be able to attend that meeting on the 27th. Our sixth granddaughter is going to be born that day.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
already scheduled.
Oh,
the
wow.
27th, okay?
Okay. I'll be standing by to find out how she did. Congratulations in
Thank you.
advance. Oh, that's wonderful. Wow. Oh my gosh. Well, too bad we can't give you a lot of credit for that one, but you can enjoy her. You have some part of it.
I had her mother in school.
That's
She was one of my students. Yeah.
That's just great. Honest to goodness. I love good news.
Yeah.
That's one thing you can't get enough of. Oh, also don't forget, I almost forgot. What about 3 Squares?
Oh, you're the expert there.
Not an expert, but I do love that program.
You do.
This time of year, we're heading into the big harvest time.
Right.
And I don't know about a lot of you, but I have a shady backyard. So if I plant tomatoes, they usually ripen in early October. So don't give up on your farmers markets. Farmers markets are loaded with produce now. And if you sign up, if you're participating in the 3 Squares program, which is a nutrition program where you get funds automatically deposited to your bank account, depending on your income level and so forth, you can go to your local farmers market that participates, give them your 3 Squares card, they'll take $10 off, and they will give you $20 worth of tokens to spend at the farmers market.
Boy, that's a deal.
Yeah, it's like a double coupon day, and you can do it every week. And the nice part of it is now that the application for 3 Squares is radically easier. And it used to be a multi pages, fine print. You wonder who thinks up these kind of applications. But right now, I think it's either a 3 or 4 page application. So call the helpline if you're interested. If you don't belong to 3 Squares, it's never too late to join. Find out if you can be eligible. They'll send you an application. And then if you have trouble filling it out, call us back.
Right.
Yeah, call us back. Somebody will help you. Anyway, we're very, very happy. And also, if you are on Medicare, maybe, and find yourself in different circumstances and you would like to apply for Medicaid, but it's too mind-boggling, give us a call.
Right.
And tell us that you think you're eligible for Medicaid, but you don't know how to fill all that out. We may send you a Medicaid application, but that doesn't mean we're not going to help you. Because we have case managers who, if you are eligible, they'll sit down with you or they'll do it over the phone with you, whatever. They'll walk you through it. Right. Absolutely. Don't wait. If you wait, you lose. You know that old saying, if you snooze, you lose? And it's true. If you want to get some kind of benefit, but no, you don't want to bother anybody, you don't want to ask, it doesn't cost anything to ask. You
Right,
call and ask us.
right.
What's the worst we can say to you is, no, you have too much income or you have too many resources. That's not bad news. So there still may be things we can do for you to boost your budget. Not every program has a very strict financial criteria because the object of the game is to help people 60 and over, not give them a hard time.
Remember, all those people over 60 years or old, they've worked all those years,
Yeah,
you know, they
that's right.
deserve everything that's due to them.
Absolutely. And we can't thank them enough.
Right,
Plus the fact here in Vermont, a lot of our older people originally worked the land. They were farmers. Maybe they had some cows, maybe they grew, vegetables or whatever. They probably didn't really rack up a lot of Social Security benefit credits because they didn't make a lot of money. But doesn't mean they didn't work. And it doesn't mean that they're not worth us saying thank you by helping them access older Americans' funds that are earmarked only for them.
that's right.
And I have to say, I have a lot of respect for our older Vermonters who are like, no, I don't need anything. I'm okay. They may be okay, but they could be better. And I think it's our responsibility to make sure that they're as comfortable and as safe and as healthy as they can be, because we
That's
do want to
right.
keep them around.
Right,
These are people that have a lot of sometimes what I call corporate memory. It's also cultural memory, Vermont history memory, neighborhood memory. It's amazing. When I sit and listen to people who have so much experience, I find it fascinating. And I have
they,
learned a lot.
they can tell a story. They can
Oh my
tell a
gosh.
story. I
And
used to,
it's a gift.
when I was teaching school, one of the projects I had my students do when I taught US history, they they had to go out and interview somebody that was alive during World War II.
Oh,
Okay,
great.
so they asked these questions and so forth. The kids loved it and could hardly wait to come back to the class to really tell about their
Yeah,
experiences. It was
that's
amazing.
right. I mean, is there any one of us that didn't like bedtime stories when we were kids?
Oh, come
This
on.
is
Yeah.
like a grown-up version of bedtime stories.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah,
comforting and so wonderful.
it
So
is.
yeah, thank you. I guess we do. I guess Jim, you and I, and a lot of people at Senior Solutions have a tremendous passion for our aging Vermonters, our fellow neighbors,
Oh,
family
I do.
members.
There's no question about it.
Yeah. And oh, I just looked at my notebook. I don't think we've talked about home meds yet.
Oh,
Remember home meds? It
yeah.
kind of dropped off radar when we couldn't have anybody go to people's homes.
Oh, yeah. And Ann does that, right? Ann?
Yep. Ann, who does a fabulous job. She is like a nurse case manager. And just real briefly, the home meds, and I'll let you take over. The home meds is a free federal program. You don't become a client. There's no tracking of you in the federal system or anything. But what it is, it's a way, it's an identification process of the medications, vitamins, health tablets, whatever you're taking, either by prescription or over the counter. As you get older, you kind of accumulate a bunch of pill bottles. And a lot of us can't remember exactly what some of them were for, but we vaguely remember we had a pain in our head and we took it and it helped. Danger, danger, because by the time you take several different pills, you may not be taking things that react well together.
That's correct.
And it can make you black out, you can get dizzy, it can cause chemical problems inside your body. And many times you have several different doctors and pharmacists, so nobody's really able to know everything you're taking. especially if you add over the counter and, health tablets and stuff. So Anne will come. She'll call you ahead of time, make an appointment. And if you want to meet her outside for safety precautions for COVID, that's fine. Anyway, you're going to show her all the bottles of stuff that you have. And she's going to enter all of that into her program. She knows a lot about these things, but we're not relying totally on Anne, because all of that information gets sent to a geriatric pharmacist who runs it through his programs and identifies potential hazards from the interactions from some of these chemical products that you're ingesting. And then the results will go to your primary physician. And the primary physician can then meet with the person who did the home meds evaluation, and they together can decide, you want to cut some of the meds out, you want to change to something else. It's up to the person who wanted the, I guess you would call it the scrutiny, and up to the primary care physician to do the best for the client. And it has literally saved lives.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not a chemist or a scientist. Most of us aren't. And, sometimes we need a little helping hand to know exactly if you're taking stuff in your body, wouldn't you like to know that it's safe? So that's the home meds program, and it has saved lots of people. Not that they're going to kill you outright because of interaction. Say you're driving down the road, you're going to the post office. You took your medication. You said, oh, I forgot. I think I'll take that pink one over there. Take your pills, you drink your orange juice, get in the car, you're driving to the post office. Oh my gosh, you're getting dizzy. And what happens? You can faint, you can drive into a tree. God forbid you drive into a child. I don't want that responsibility. So if I'm going to be on a lot of medications, I want to know the effects of what I'm taking it's going to do on my body. And we encourage all of you to take part in that. And
Right.
Again, it's free.
Right.
My goodness, we did cover a lot of territory.
We did cover a lot of territory, and usually we have a guest. Okay.
Yes.
We are the guests today.
That's right.
Hi, everybody. Right,
Thank you, Jim.
We'll have Wendy hopefully in October. We'll have a guest in October anyways.
Absolutely.
But if you folks out there have any suggestions that, or ideas to enhance our program, or topics that you would like us to cover, call the helpline. Let us know.
Absolutely. Yeah, we want to help our viewers. We talk to each other all the time. So we want to make sure that what we're giving out as far as helpful information is truly helpful. Right. And there probably are a lot of things that haven't been on our radar that other people might. And I also want to make sure that we invite people in Vermont that we don't usually hear from. We don't hear a lot from it's a very small population, but an important population of our Native Americans.
True.
And some of the other minority groups or people who have emigrated to the country and have decided to settle in our area, we want to make sure that they know that we welcome them.
Absolutely.
And that they are part of our society, part of our social network, and encourage them to call. Just because we might look different than them, we still want to hear from them.
Right.
And
very good point.
I just want to also encourage everybody, if you have any free time and you want to make a difference in someone's life, please call our helpline at 1-802-885-2669 or the toll-free 1-866-673-8376, and say you would like to volunteer as a visitor. We will figure out if you want to be a senior companion, a friendly visitor, a vet-to-vet visitor, if you want to be on the Veterans Advisory Council, if you want to be part of the caregiver support groups, if you want to be a volunteer to give a family caregiver some respite. These are wonderful opportunities. They're all available. Yes, we do background checks and we do pay mileage. But other than that, there's not a lot of detail that you need to worry about. We just want nice people who want to do nice things for other nice people.
That's right. And you'll make a difference.
And yes, you'll become a star in somebody's life.
Good.
So thank you,
Thank
Jim.
you.
I really enjoyed this visit with you.
Oh, I always enjoy visiting with you. Okay. Looking forward to sitting on your porch eventually.
You know it. That's right. That's right. I'll make sure it's, well, for one thing, you know, it's going to be open 24/7.
I know.
So yeah, that I'm looking forward to it also. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to being closer to the office too.
Right. And
Well, yeah.
give Brian kudos for setting this all up for us.
Yep.
BCTV does an amazing job and has been great supporters of Senior Solutions.
That's right. They help us get the word out and they facilitate all of this. I couldn't even think about doing it without Brian and you.
Right.
So yeah, looking forward to it. I think tentatively we're going to meet with Wendy maybe on October 8th, early in the month. So we'll be able to get that out the door. So until then, all of our viewers, enjoy the new fall season. If you're going out walking, watch out for slippery leaves. And hopefully, well, we can't see you, but you can see us again.
Yes.
Thank you. We really care about you.
Have a
Talk to you
good day.
soon.